Hello, welcome to another video review. Today we're looking at the action figures series, Wave 1 of the Indiana Jones Adventure series. And yeah, I got these a while ago, but I just come around to filming them. We actually get a lot of these quite early in Hong Kong. So these are all the boxes and packaging. None of them have any plastic windows and stuff. I am okay with that, especially when it's harder in Hong Kong for people to, swap figures or steal them from the shop because in Hong Kong, we don't really have a return policy of certain figures, or if you order them, a lot of times we have to order them in advance to get them. Otherwise, they're out of stock, or you only have one figure from the set available, or sometimes the prices go up. So for me, that's okay. And for figures at this price range, I'm not as worried as I am if I were to buy Japanese figure like Figuarts or Mafex. Those I would open the box in the shop and check the quality and see if there's anything missing and stuff. But for figures at this price range and for shops that I frequent, that I trust, I'm not too worried about this non-window packaging stuff. But I definitely understand it with people in the West go to big supermarkets or big stores and there's something wrong with the figure. That can be very frustrating. Anywho, so we have Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, we have Marion, Salad, we have Hanger Guy, and Face Melt Guy. Well, he melts his face too. Spoilers for a film that's really, really old. So all of these boxes have the same style. The art on them is actually quite good. Quick look on the back shows you all the accessories you get with each figure. I'm going to show a video clip in a moment here of me opening some of the boxes. So while most of these boxes are plastic free, there's still a lot of tape that they use in the packaging, which I don't think is too necessary. But there are also parts of the box, as you can see here, take out, they don't stay in the cardboard frame and they just kind of fall out. So when you open these boxes, do be careful. There are things that will fall out, and there are also things that are just stuck in there a little bit too tight. So just be careful there. Inside each box, the action figure itself is in this paper bag, which has actually a nice design and print on them. I am okay with it not having any detail, just a white piece of paper. There's a slightly small bag for any accessories that come with the figure. Reminds me of those little paper sheets you get on big boxes of fancy chocolate or something. So with Indy, he has a lot of accessories, most out of everyone actually. So he's got these two fist hands. He has a relaxed left hand, and he has a trigger holding hand for his revolver pistol. He has a whip that's tied up, a golden idol thing from the start of the movie, but even though they are releasing a set with that idol stage, so I guess you're going to get this accessory again in the future if you pick up that set. He has the whip in this open mode that's definitely leaves a little bit of weathering, and he also has his revolver for the gun holding hand. So just gonna pull this out. Tiny little black revolver, no paint details on it whatsoever, but that is quite a lot of accessories or something from Hasbro, at least in this price range. Indiana Jones itself, the head sculpt is actually decent, but the face, I'm not sure about that face. That looks like Indy from this angle. Maybe the hat down a little bit. If you're looking down, yep, okay. But yeah, I mean, they definitely have the Harrison Ford head sculpt, but he just looks a little bit off. Doesn't quite look like Indy. I am not sure about his head sculpt and stuff. The body also looks a little bit off on the shoulder. He looks this looks like a triangle or like a penguin. I'm not a fan. I wish his shoulders would come out just a little bit more. I know he's not like a superhero or something, but yeah, it's just the top bit's too small. Look, I saw this YouTuber, I do like his videos, but he was very nitpicky because I guess he really likes Indiana Jones, so he's saying the figures kind of missed the mark on certain areas and stuff, or they're not particularly accurate to certain movies and stuff. But for me, if I just want a single generic Indiana Jones figure, this hits the mark. A while ago, a few years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, Figma released one, and that figure was okay, except the face looked nothing like Harrison Ford, and you were paying a premium price for a Japanese figure. But for this price range, this is a decent figure. And I do wish I can take his hat off. That's the only thing with this figure, because we've had lots of Star Wars figures with removable helmets and stuff. I don't see why they couldn't have done it with this. So, but aside from that, for just having a single Indiana Jones figure and nothing else, This one gets the job done. The only biggest improvement is the head thing, and the head looking better than this. This does look a little bit off. So it looks okay like that, because you can cover half the face. Otherwise, articulation, he can look quite far up. He does have a lower neck joint, but due to the way the whole thing is molded, it is a little bit stiff, but his head can move a lot. Actually, it's more like Indy when it's being a bit silly, like, there are some butterfly joints in there, but the movement is so small, I'm not sure what it's for. Arm goes up, full rotation. Elbow also has a rotation there, single joint. Hand is on a, I want to say, yeah, it's on a little ball peg, and it's also quite easy to swap. Torso goes quite far back, just a single joint, and they had a joint on the belt, so that's actually quite good. The molding details do go down to the joint as well. Leg goes up, sideways, not bad. Rotating joint here, because of his pants, the cutoff isn't too bad, but I guess what you expect from the Hasbro line. That's similar to Star Wars. Knee joint is okay, I guess the coloring on the joint itself is a little bit off, and feet on the little ratchet joints, they click a little bit. No toe joints, I am fine with that, at least for Indy. Again, he's not a super duper superhero action figure, so he can do with a little bit more limitation, and thank God for that, from the design aspects that they went with the Star Wars Black Series style of action figures. I really don't like Marvel Legends. G.I. Joe is so-so, and the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, I am not a fan of the joints, I'm not a fan of the proportions. They all look a bit too muscular, a bit too extreme, so I'm really happy in terms of something more realistic and more movie-like. They went with the same style as the Star Wars Black Series, because many years ago I had a big rant about the Darth Maul figure from like the Wave 1 of Black Series, because I was expecting a lot from that series. Because it's supposed to be like, the premium Star Wars line, something really good and realistic and stuff, and I was so angry with that figure, I got rid of it, I made a huge rant. But these days, the Black Series has actually fulfilled a lot of my desires. I think they're very good for the price that they go for. As for this Indiana Jones figure, I think for the price that he goes for, is also pretty good. I am satisfied. Will I go out and get more Indies? Probably not, unless I see like a discount or something, but I'm okay with just one version of Indy. Okay, next figure, Salad. He comes with a bunch of rope. I wish he would come with rope that's not like that, but I guess I can just go to the hardware store and get some string or something. That would have been nice. Just like Indy to have the whip tied up on his belt, or the whip that's released. Or whatever, just slide down. So he also has shovel. This one, the silver bit, I'm gonna repaint that. That looks very off. The stick itself, maybe also going to be painted out a little bit. Just get some metallic paint on, that will look so much better. The rope could do with a quick wash, I guess. That will also make it look so much better. Big problem with this accessory is his hand can't actually grip the shovel. That's really dumb. As for the figure itself, his face looks pretty spot on. If I ever want to put his head on another figure and go next to a James Bond or something, that would also work. This looks great. I'm satisfied with this. The overall figure also looks pretty decent. Gets the job done. I have no complaints with him, except maybe if I'm to, I would wish that this plastic piece would kind of like overlap each side a little bit more. So, some Japanese figures do that. They have skirt pieces and stuff. They do a cut on the rope, but they will have an extra piece that extends so they overlap each other. So when you're moving the figure around, you keep the articulation, but the rope doesn't look like it's split. Or perhaps they could come with like a cloth one, just like Tusken Raiders from the Star Wars line. Head can look far back, look forward. This jacket is a loose piece, so it doesn't get too far away. He does have a butterfly jump, but here is completely pointless. Like, look at that. There's no movement. So what's the point? Put the budget in like a cloth rope or something. Arm goes up, full rotation here and rotation here. Ball joints for the hands. Torso moves very far back, very far forward, so he can definitely do a lot. And this plastic isn't as soft as I'd like it to be. Would be much nicer if it was much softer, but he has like the full leg articulation and stuff. But it does get in the way with the rope, so. But I am glad he's not just a cone figure. Marianne comes with this pen, which, again, I didn't want to repaint the silver bit, as well as this tiny little monkey. Let's look at the monkey. The monkey has a little bit of head. He has head rotation. It's actually a ball peg head. so he can move that. And the arms move, legs do not. So he has a soft tail on a ball peg too. So I'm just gonna put him down in the pad. Okay. Marion does, I think the head sculpt is fine, but the printing is, he shows like something from Family Guy. Like a Family Guy drawing of her. The print details on her top are okay. They extend up to where the joints are, so that's fine. She also reminds me of those like the King Solomon Plasticine series from many years ago. Sometimes it got a little bit creepy, especially the devil character in that. So yeah. Her hair is not soft material, so that's a little bit annoying, but her head articulation is still not bad. Definitely do more. Can't really lean left and right. Rotation's okay. Alright. Arms, same articulation. Rotation here, peg and swivel. Same here. The joint of the arm does get in the way a little bit. She's got a peg and swivel for her hands, which is fair enough, I guess. Torso goes not much. You'd think she'd be re-articulated, but no. Leg goes up, leg goes down. Splits. She do splits. Not too much. So, and yep, leg on these pegs. The red in there does get a little bit disturbing, like she's bleeding in the foot or something. So far, this is probably the worst one. So Indy's okay, with a lot of accessories. This one is very lifelike to the actor, but she's probably the worst one. So far, anyway. Next we have Hand-Burning Hanger Guy. So he has an extra head here. You see, he can swap his hat. So why can't Indy? He's got a melty face, which, yeah, it is quite gruesome. Don't know why they didn't give the melty face to the other guy too. And he has an extra hand where he burns the symbol onto his hand. We take a closer look at that. Molded in with a bit of a wash for the red and burnt plastic. Don't know if you count this as an accessory, but this whole jacket thing does come up, but you got nowhere to hang it. So it just kind of stands there like, what is that? And he does have his Yahtzee pistol. The handle is painted, I guess. Ball joints for the hands, so same like Indy. If a bit dust on him. So I'm just going to put this jacket to the side because when he has that on, he cannot really move too much. In fact, his torso is, not cut off at all. So I'm expecting no articulation here pretty much. But the figure itself, I guess it looks the part, especially because he's got like actual glasses on, so it does hide a lot. So hat comes off. Very soft material. Again, why can't the Indy figure do that too? So neck comes down, it goes forward. In fact, the whole collar piece moves with it. And the tie is sort of like slotted into the jacket, which moves with the body as well, which is quite smart actually. Neck rotation. And you got the two joints there, so at some point you can just move the head without the top collar. A little bit of paint shows up through there if you're not too careful. Arms go up. Now, I think he has a butterfly joint inside, but it is totally pointless because the jacket just gets in the way. So swivel, peg and swivel, same with the elbow. Very good movement actually. And ball peg for the hands, which doesn't have much movement at all. Makes more sense if you have swappable hands, but he doesn't. Leg goes up, leg goes back. So this material is bit thinner than the robe, so it does move a little bit more. And the legs are honestly the same as Indy and the other guy. So, but in terms of tummy articulation, yeah, there is nothing in there. It is a solid just chunk. Oh no, there is something in there, but it's not going to move because of this jacket. So I really wish these figures came with a little bit of soft goods, just like the Star Wars figures sometimes come with a little bit of soft goods as well. And this jacket is an accessory piece. It's just funny for posing, but otherwise it wouldn't be much better if it actually came with a cloth jacket. As of right now, this piece is kind of useless. So I would recommend just getting some third-party 1/12 scale jackets, coats from other places. There's a lot out there. Alright, next finally we have him. His only accessory is this gold staff thing, which once again, I feel like I want to repaint this or at least put a wash on it because the gold is just, it's a little bit too plasticky. I want to put some shading on it. Otherwise, he's got no accessories. He looks the part. I guess. His likeness is very good. He's got this thing hanging in front of him. It's just glued on the top. He also has these robes that are cut around here, but different colors and material makes this really thick robe, so he's not really going to do too much articulation. It is going to push against his feet, even though he has a regular pair of legs underneath there for articulation. His torso is actually not bad. The joint is also hidden very well, so that's good. Head and neck, they got the double joints there, just like all the other figures, so that's a lot of good movement. Does he have butterfly joints here? No, he does not, finally. I figure that doesn't, and I don't think he needs it, because he doesn't really cross his arms or anything, and the clothes have just gotten in the way. The overall paint job on this checker pattern is also pretty good, actually. So yeah, he's got the upper rotating joint there, which is kind of pointless, because you also have this rotating joint. Hands are on the ball pegs. Yes, they are. That actually extends out a bit too much, and you can see too much of the joint. And yeah, just regular legs again, so nothing too special there. Finally, all of them come with pieces for the Ark of the Covenant. Once again, the painted gold on this is not bad, but once again, I want to put a wash on this just to make the details stand out a little bit more and age it a little bit. So it's not too hard to assemble. And another bonus with this is that it's actually got space inside, so you can put all your extra accessories in here, like I guess the monkey come out. You know, you got the extra head here, you got all of extra in these hands. You can get the this rope piece. Shovel's not going to go in there, but yeah. So all of these can go in there, close it up, and you got the accessory box. So that's kind of nice. As a builder thing, whatever, this one makes sense for all the figures. If you want to find the Ark of Covenant, you got to get the whole wave. I am glad it's not just another figure, because I hate chasing figures, and I hate feel like I have to buy a whole set just for a missing character. So as the first wave of the Indiana Jones line, I think this is promising. There are definitely some gripes that I have with it and some kinks that I want them to change overall. But I am mostly satisfied with the figures I have here. I bought this as a wave to get the complete arc, as well as to just have some kind of presence of Indiana Jones collection. If these figures were to come out one by one, I probably wouldn't have gotten some of the other characters. I would have probably just gotten Indy. And if they release some, you know, soldiers in the future for him to fight, that would be kind of cool too. In terms of accessories, I think they just gave most of the accessories to Indiana Jones himself, but the other ones do seem a little bit lacking. I would like other characters to have more hands as well, or are they assuming that we can just use the hands from Indy and swap them over to the other figures, even though some of them use pegs and stuff, so that's not gonna work. So the arc itself is also pretty decent. So what we have here is okay. It's definitely has room for improvement, but overall, as a casual Indiana Jones fan, I'm quite satisfied with the figures that I have here, and I feel like I have enough. Like I said, unless they release some soldiers in the future, or maybe they can somehow release a Henry Jones figure, then I might be interested. From what I've seen from all the other figures that are coming out soon, most of them are just different variations of Indiana Jones. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime down the line they will release a ultimate Indy figure, just with all the other accessories, maybe some slight improvement with the face, maybe some more swappable parts, but that's sometime down the future. I don't see them releasing some fodder though, like there's no soldiers, no natives. Maybe they're a little bit worried about releasing those figures, might be a bit sensitive. I don't think they'll release too much from Crystal Skull, because that's not too well regarded, but yeah, right now not really too much interest in picking up more figures. Some of the 3.75 inch stuff is quite interesting with the dioramas and set pieces and stuff. I feel like that's some of the bits that would shine within the line. It's like not the characters themselves, but the locations and the treasures and the things that he picks up. So like the map room thing is kind of interesting, but not enough for me to pick up. I do kind of like the Idol from the first movie. That's a set I'm interested in, but I already have an Indy figure now. I don't want to pick up another Indy figure just for that. So yeah. So what we have here is decent. The stuff that's coming out is a little bit boring, and I feel like that could be the death of the line again, maybe. So hopefully we get more interesting characters along the line before the line ends. If you're an Indiana Jones fan and you really want all these characters, it's fingers crossed for you. But as of the quality right here, I would say it's not as good as the Black Series, but it's almost there. almost. Subscribe to Jason Can't Be Like Us. Take care. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye now.